Democratic presidential candidate Congressman Dean Phillips going after President Biden for the American hostages that are still trapped by Hamas. He writes in part on X, quote, "It's unacceptable that American citizens remain held by Hamas and have not been set free through diplomacy or special forces extraction. It has been over 6 weeks and is inexcusable." Joining me now is Florida Congressman Greg Steube. He is a member of the House Ways and Means Committee and Subcommittee on Weaponization of Government. He is also a U.S. Army veteran. Congressman, thank you so much for being here this morning. I'd like to get your reaction to that statement. There is a lot of outrage about the fact that there are still Americans in custody of Hamas, in the custody of terrorists, while the Thanksgiving holiday has passed and the president is taking a vacation on Nantucket.
Yeah, I actually agree with Dean. We have a situation where Americans are hostages, and this president has done absolutely nothing to go in and get them. The Israelis would love nothing more than the Americans to come in and help them with this situation, and we have special forces that train their entire lives for situations like this. They obviously have a pretty good idea of where these hostages are being held. Why are our guys not going in and getting our Americans that are being held hostage? I've called on that from the very beginning. We're now months after the initial invasion from Hamas, a terrorist organization who has our people, who has Americans. And if you have an administration who's unwilling to go in and get our people, that's what we're known for. That's what the American military is known for. That's what we as Americans are known for, to go in and get our people if they're trapped or stranded or certainly taken hostage by a terrorist organization. And I call on the president to do that instead of being vacationing in Nantucket, to focus on the Americans that are held hostage today.
Yeah, it feels like the values of this administration just don't align with what we've seen in America in the past. I feel like if there were a situation like this, a president would be much more active in playing his role to release hostages that are held abroad. Meantime, Congressman, the Biden-Harris re-election campaign is posting what it called a guide to handle crazy MAGA nonsense for the holidays. One side claiming that President Trump did not secure the border, instead claiming that he separated families, locked children in cages, and broke the immigration system. Their guide did not include any current migrant crossing data. We know the numbers are sky high. One sector on the northern border seeing a 550% increase in migrant apprehensions last fiscal year, with migrants coming in from 79 different countries. So, Congressman, we have known for some time we have a problem on both borders. Now the northern border is coming into focus within the last couple of weeks as well. This is still an administration who does absolutely nothing. A vice president who is tasked with solving the crisis, who has done absolutely nothing, while illegal migrants break the law, continue to flood this country, and essentially, take money away from the taxpayers.
And lied to the American people, and the mainstream media just regurgitates the lies. 7.8 million illegals have crossed into our country, and just some of the numbers, we've got 24,000 Chinese foreign nationals and 43,000 Russian foreign nationals, with a whole list of other countries, people from Turkey, people from Yemen, people from Iraq, people from Iran, that are coming in the southern border. These are not Latinos that are fleeing climate change to come into our country. These are terrorists. Over 280 known terrorists on the terrorist watch list have been apprehended at the southern border. How many of those gotaways are known terrorists? And we have asked repeatedly of this administration, are you sending these people back and deporting them? And they refuse to answer our questions. Yeah. We have a national security issue right here at our southern border that was 100% created by this administration, and it is fascinating that still 3 years into their administration, they're still blaming President Trump for the decisions that they are making.
And you have China profiting from the fentanyl. You've got the cartels profiting from the smuggling of the drugs across the border and the human trafficking, the loss of life we're dealing with, the kind of crime issues that come into this country and then plague other cities and states across the board has been unbelievable. I want to switch and talk about this for a moment, because House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan sending a subpoena to Hunter Biden, the prosecutor there, Leslie Wolf, ordering her for an appearance on December 7th. Wolf accused of trying to shield President Biden from certain questions and search warrants related to the Hunter Biden investigation. Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer joining Maria on Wednesday, explaining the importance of this subpoena. Watch this.
Leslie Wolf, it seems, is where all roads lead to when you look at the cover-up, when the IRS was told to stand down, when the Department of Justice was told to stand down, and when the FBI was told to stand down. One person's name continues to emerge in all of these cover-ups, and that's Leslie Wolf.
Congressman, it's another layer to this that Comer is trying to peel back. Your thoughts on where we stand?
Yeah, and the IRS whistleblower specifically said that Leslie Wolf told them that they weren't allowed to put Hunter Biden's name on subpoenas, weren't allowed to go into Joe Biden's house for a search warrant. She was actively protecting the president and Hunter, and actively, in my opinion, affecting the administration of justice by political means, not allowing their investigators, one of which had been there for 14 years, to do exactly what the investigator thought was appropriate, because they were trying everything they could to protect Joe Biden and Hunter Biden from this investigation. And I'm so glad that we're finally going to get her in and ask her these tough questions, because you have under oath testimony from IRS whistleblowers that she was telling them to stand down.
Absolutely. It's a must. Good progress being made on this front. Congressman Stubbe, thank you so much. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
All right, coming up, how markets are moving after a big week of retail and tech earnings as we look ahead to